Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator. The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Brink of Sanity Show, episode 191. How you doing, Mark?
I am doing, do you mean that in a, how are you doing, kind of like at work, kind of like when you see someone, you're like, oh, hey, what's up, Joe? Good.
Yeah, I don't care how you doing.
You don't care how I'm doing.
No.
You don't want me to bitch and complain, because I can bitch and complain right now.
Well, I mean, that's what the show is, so you might as well.
Today is Friday the 13th.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not complaining about that. I'm just pointing it out. I had the perfect night planned, and it is not to be.
It's because of the podcast?
No. This is my like plan B here, or plan C, or whatever you are, Jay. Here's what my night was going to be. To remind the audience, I have two kids. One's a baby. One's about 3 years old. Here's my night. This Sunday is Father's Day, and as a special Father's Day present to me, my wife is going to take the kids today to her parents, and I was going to meet them tomorrow at her parents' house. And I was going to get to watch TV, go to bed at a normal hour, and have a good night's rest, and just be happy as can be. That was my perfect night right now. But instead, my son has some kind of viral infection, and I am home with him instead. So I will not sleep and all the jazz. And I love having kids, but I wanted my goddamn night to myself. That's what I wanted, my goddamn night to myself, and it's never going to happen. I don't know when else I have a chance to do this.
I know,
Anyhow,
my girlfriend's working tonight, so I got a night to myself too. So I'm just drinking some Captain and talking to you.
Okay. It's a solid plan B. When I heard I had to do this, I figured I'd put the kid down and we'd do some podcast. So it's the World Cup time.
Cool.
You excited?
Oh, I love a sport that's only on early morning or the middle of the night or while I'm at work.
The most popular sport on Earth.
No, I don't mind it. It's just it's a hard sport to follow when it's on at weird times.
Is it even odd at weird times? Because it's in Brazil. It's the same time zone as us, right?
I don't know. The game was on at like 11 in the morning. I'm not watching games while I'm at work.
Yeah, they were during the day. Time in Brazil. Are they the same time zone as us?
I mean, it doesn't matter if they're in the same time.
Oh, they're
zone.
an hour. They're an hour ahead of us.
Yeah, I mean it's close enough. But the games are still on. It's not even the World Cup. The World Cup is usually on at a more accessible time. It's the 3 years in between where the games are on at like 6 in the morning.
Why is it that like people care for a short time? The World Cup happens. I mean, I know the rest of the world cares the entire 4 years, but World Cup happens. We're all like, "Yay, World Cup! The U.S. is going to score a goal this year," and then the World Cup ends. U.S. obviously doesn't do much, and then we're like, "Okay, let's forget soccer exists."
Because everyone's for some reason obsessed with baseball.
I like baseball. It is kind of that. Once the World Cup is over, the people only think of soccer as, "Hey, my 10-year-old has soccer practice." I wonder if anyone actually plays professionally.
Yeah, it's weird.
Do you know, like the Red Bulls? They play here.
Cool.
Someone
That's everyone's
told me
reaction.
where apparently you can get to them by transportation. You can get like them by the PATH train.
I'm sure you can. I don't care.
Would you go to a soccer game? A non-World Cup soccer game, like a New York Red Bull game?
I guess. I mean, I would have to have nothing else to do. I wouldn't like.
You probably can get really good tickets for like $15.
I'm sure you could.
Probably for 25, they'd let you play.
Yeah, exactly.
Why do you think the U.S. is so bad in soccer?
Because they don't care. You see, my reactions, that's like athletes' reactions too.
I guess like we have a bunch of other sports here. And not that other places don't have a bunch of other sports, but they're really into soccer.
Well, every country has their favorite sport, and they focus on that sport.
Right. Every country, its favorite sport is soccer.
Yeah.
Except for the U.S., and Canada just seems to like hockey a lot. Which I've been watching a lot of hockey lately because of the Rangers, and it's actually pretty exciting. I'm going to forget about it once the season's over and probably not watch it again to the playoffs next year. But hockey's pretty exciting to watch.
Every time I watch it, I like it, but I have never have like a desire to say, "Hey, I'm going to be a hockey fan."
It's kind of like especially when your team's up by like 2-1, say, and you're like waiting for them to kill, like try to keep the lead for the last like 20 minutes or 15 minutes. It's pretty exciting, and you're like, this is kind of like a sudden death sport. This is kind of crazy, but I'm like, I have to learn what icing is and learn what all those other things. I'm not going to learn all this stuff.
Yeah.
So what's going on with you?
So I got a phone call today. This has been. Have you ever been to Vegas?
I have been to Vegas.
Did you do one of those timeshare tours?
I did not do one of those timeshare tours.
Yeah, the thing is, I didn't either, but I signed up for one. And I didn't go, but they already had my information.
I did one, actually. I went to Aruba and did a timeshare tour there to get $200 towards meals.
That's the same thing it was here. It was $200. I don't know if it was toward gambling or toward meals, but it was $200 for something. I said, $200.
I would love to see in Vegas it just be $200 towards gambling. You're like, here's your $200 towards gambling. Okay, I'm going to put it on black. Okay, there goes my money.
Yeah, exactly.
That was. I spent 2 hours with this woman to go here.
So, I mean, I decided shortly in, like, I remember that. Did you ever see that South Park episode where they tried to go to a timeshare?
No, I did not.
I was thinking about that, and they like didn't let them leave, and it was just like a terrible experience and ruined their whole trip. And I was like,
I remember with mine, just to cut your story off for 1 second, was the woman was like giving us all the reasons for it and blah, 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 how you can go anywhere as long as you trade this for this. You want to go to Jamaica, you trade this for this. You do this, you go to any of these, you can go anywhere in the world. We have a hotel, you can trade to this hotel for this. And like, it's like, oh, I'm just going to, we're like, whatever, we don't want to do it. We're like, oh, we're saving for a house. We can't afford to do it. And the woman's like, well, you're going to take a vacation every year, aren't you? Like, we guess so. So you should just buy this.
yeah, they get like really pushy.
Yeah, she went from being like kind of nice to being like, come on, why aren't you going to do this? What the hell? Okay, ma'am, we're just going to take our $200 and go.
Yeah, they get super, super angry.
She went from like just being friendly to being like very assertive. I was like, okay. And she's like, you're like, are you mad at me for being here for the $200? Because that's why everyone's here.
Yeah, nobody really wants this. Some people may sign up, but nobody initially wants it.
No, I can see how people can be convinced, but it's just like all you're saying is for the rest of my life, I'm going to be like sucked into this small vacuum of vacation possibilities.
Mm-hmm.
And when I want to go on vacation, I want something less rigid than we have to trade our hotel points to get this.
I don't even know how it works, but
It's some kind of weird, like, I don't know. It's just basically buying all your vacation up front for the rest of your life. It's like, it'd be like someone telling you, hey, you're not going to buy toilet paper for the rest of your life. Why don't you buy your toilet paper timeshare? You give us 20 grand and we'll give you the toilet paper for the rest of your life. I'm not going to put all my money in toilet paper just yet, okay?
so, well, what if I want to switch brands at some point?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, but it's all these things about how you can go to these certain locations of their thing and they have a wide network. But if you want to go outside their network, you could trade the points you accumulate for this, and you have to, like, I fucking want to do
That sounds
man.
really complicated.
Yeah, like, I don't want to have to be this, like, annoyed when I'm going on vacation.
So,
So tell me your story.
okay, so I ended up not going, but I guess I got put on some list. Everything was fine for about 6 months. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden I started getting a call from a random number. And it was like 5 times a day. And every time I picked up, there would be nothing. It would be silence, and then it would hang up on me. So I looked up the number, and apparently it's what happens when you sign up for that timeshare. Whatever company they link you to has a problem with their automatic calling service, and it just calls and hangs up on you. So this went on for months, and then it finally stopped.
You can get a number blocked, right?
I think that's what I did eventually.
Okay.
So I got the number blocked, but then my phone started ringing again this week. And I'm thinking, all right, this is probably some sort of timeshare thing again. So I answered the phone right before we got on the show, and they said, you took a Vegas trip like 3 years ago, right? And I said, yeah. And like, well, you got put on our preferred travelers list. I'm like, oh, for the timeshare that I never went on and the vacation I never took. I'm all of a sudden a preferred traveler. And they're like, yeah, you have a $700 credit. So all you have to do is sign up for this vacation package and you get like $700 credit. And I'm thinking, I'm so glad that I'm just not a stupid person. It didn't say $700, sign me up. Because basically you have to sign up for 4 vacations and they take $700 off of the fake price they just made up.
I had something like that. We had this company come when I was in college who wanted to pitch their vacation thing to our, or whatever they were pitching. I forgot they were selling to our fraternity. And then they'd give away a trip to Florida or it was like Orlando, Hawaii, whatever the 3 places were.
Yeah, it was Orlando, Hawaii, Vegas, and
so I won the trip. And I'm like, oh, cool, I won the trip. And then you call up and it's like, you get the free airfare as long as you book in our hotels. Our hotels are really expensive. So if you want to pay $800 for like 4 nights in Orlando, we'll include the airfare, something like that. It's whatever it was. It's like you're like, this is not a scam. This is just like the package I would have gotten off Expedia.
Right. So I said, yeah, I don't really want to lock myself into 4 vacations. He's like, well, you get 6 months to do it. And I said, yeah, it's 6 months. I don't really want. He's like, did I say 6 months? I meant 2.5 years. And I was like, all right, dude, I don't want it. He's like, I'm going to delete your $700 credit. I'm like, go ahead, delete my $700. He's like, fine, I'm deleting it. Okay, good. So
you should just, instead of that, you should have said to him, hey, can I use that $700 towards credit card debt? Because I've got a lot of that. I don't have actual money to pay you. Would that be okay? Click. That's why I always get these like random phone number calls. When I pick it up, they're like, you special time, you could lower your rate on your credit cards, your credit card debt and refinance, whatever it is. And once in a while, like I've clicked once or twice, and the woman gets on the phone, and they're like, how much credit card debt do you have? We can make it. And I'm like, who are you? And then they you ask anything outside of their script, they just hang up on you.
Yeah, they have no idea what to do outside of the script.
And I'm like, can you please just stop calling me? They're like, click. And they call back 10 minutes later.
Yeah, and it's a different person.
And you're just like, oh, goddamn. And they use they use zip codes I've never heard of that I don't think really exist except in their world.
Yep.
Yeah, area codes. Sorry, not zip codes.
And then I like when they have a joke pre-planned in there, and they like pause because the script says pause for laughter, and then I'm not laughing, and then there's just this like awkward silence because he said something like,
Jason, this weather is the pits.
He said something like, there's also a 4th location. Did I say girls in hula skirts? And then he pauses, like I could tell he's like smiling, like waiting for my laughter on the other end. It's just like, I'm not even going to give him the satisfaction of fake laughing for this one.
Well, Jay, we also have a trip that you could fondle young boys if you're into that.
Did I say pedophilia?
Did I say sex tour of Thailand?
So yeah, I'm just glad I don't fall for this stuff because I could easily see people going immediately saying, "Oh, $700, that's cool, sign me up," and then they're on like an old person's tour of Orlando.
You ever see a sex pat? Do you know what that is?
No.
You know what an expat is?
It's like a retired patriot.
It's supposed to be like it's someone expatriate, someone that's from the U.S. who's living abroad. So if you live in any other country, then you're called an expat. Mm-hmm. It's like for short. And so when guys go on, usually probably guys, go on tours of like going to like random countries to have sex with slaves or prostitutes, they're called sexpats. And we were, my wife and I went to Thailand, and there was this big fat old white guy on our plane who like he said hi to us. He started a conversation with us. And Liz is like, that's weird. He's traveling by himself. I'm like, he's a sexpat, I'm telling you. And then we'd randomly bump into him a couple times on the trip somehow. And he's always with a different like Asian chick. And I was like, oh my God, he really is. It was really disgusting.
Yeah, some people are real creepy.
Yeah, it was just like, it was creepy. Speaking of creepy, I'm going to go to my favorite news story of the week.
Okay.
My favorite news story of the week involves the Archbishop of St. Louis. This is the news story I'm going to read today.
Okay. The entire thing.
St. Louis Archbishop didn't know sex with children was a crime. This is not The Onion. This is NBC News. The St. Louis Archbishop, embroiled in a sexual abuse scandal, testified last month that he didn't know in the 1980s whether it was illegal for priests to have sex with children, according to a court deposition released Monday. Do you think he thought that every adult was allowed to have sex with children, or that there was an exception in the law, like a safe harbor for priests? Like the cops would be like, "Stop fucking that young boy. I'm a priest. Oh, carry on there, sir."
I think this is what happens when you base every single aspect of your life on the words of a book. If those words are not in your book, then you're completely lost.
I don't know. I looked at the commandments. Nothing said not to suck one of the young boys off.
The book of Job never said anything about child fucking, so I'm just completely at a loss of what to do here.
Archbishop Robert Carlson, who was chancellor of the Archdiocese of Minneapolis and St. Paul at the time, was deposed as part of a lawsuit against the Twin Cities Archdiocese and the Diocese of Winona, Minnesota. In the video released by St. Paul law firm Jefferson Anderson and Associates, the Catholic Archbishop is asked whether he had known it was a crime for adults engaged with a child. I'm not sure whether I knew it was a crime or not, Carlson responded. I understand today it's a crime.
Oh, now he gets it. Okay.
Does he think, like, at some point, like, I remember the 90s when that liberal fascist Clinton said no more fucking young boys. Oh, my God. And he just did that because he knew the people that fuck young boys vote Republican. God. How do you not hear your client say, I'm not sure in the 80s if it was fucking young boy was illegal? How do you not go, okay, I know everyone deserves the best defense and blah, blah, blah. I quit. You could fucking hang.
I mean, you do have the option to not take a case.
How do you not quit the case right there? Just be like, how the fuck do you say that? Just say, I didn't do it. Just do anything. Your defense can't be, I didn't know. I mean, this is basically the equivalent of saying, like, I didn't know murder was illegal.
Yeah.
It's not like a crime where maybe, I don't know what kind of crime. Maybe like trespassing, you confused whether you were allowed to walk on a certain property, or some kind of insider trading thing where you didn't think the information, you didn't realize it was public, it was not public information. There's no gray area here.
No, not at all.
Where's the gray area?
Is there more to the story, or is there?
Hang on, there actually is. So hang on. So Carlson's role, this is the bishop, the archbishop, whatever, at the time was to investigate abuse claims. He admitted in his deposition that he never personally went to police, even when a clergy member admitted to inappropriate behavior. Hey, dude, you asked. Yeah, I was fucking young boys. Oh, okay. I investigated. Cool. Can I get in on that?
Well, I didn't know you're supposed to follow up on the investigation. I just, I wrote it in my notebook.
Yeah, I just wish they'd asked him, like, hey, when did you figure out it was a crime? And why does it even need to be a crime to know that it's wrong on every fucking level?
Yeah, I love when people are like, well, how do you know you shouldn't do this? I'm like, I don't know, I was born a human being. Shouldn't that be enough? Shouldn't you just be born knowing that that's not correct?
In his most recent deposition, while not being able to recall his knowledge of the law exactly, as it was many decades ago, I mean, who could remember 30 years ago when pedophilia was illegal, the archbishop did make clear that he knows sex abuse crime is a crime today. This is a statement they released on his behalf. The question does not address the archbishop's moral stance on the sin of pedophilia, which has been that is the most egregious offense. Now he thinks that it's egregious offense. Before he was like, yeah, I mean, who doesn't speed? Okay, that's my story of the week.
That was it. Do you want to play our new game?
Do you want to play Would You Rather first or play our new game? Yeah, let's go our new game. Why not? I'm excited for this new game.
All right. So this new game, I last year I found this site, and at first, the first article I read was
The site is called. Are you going to tell what the site is first?
yeah, I'll get to it. At first,
Okay,
I read
I have a whole introduction.
like an economic article, and I was like, oh, okay, this is interesting. I didn't see this in the regular news. It's supposed to be like an alternative news site. It's called Infowars, and then they started posting a lot of pro-gun articles, and I'm like, huh, this isn't really like the normal, agenda for news sites. And then it just started getting crazier. And then I looked at the comment section. I realized everyone on the site's a complete maniac.
Jay sends me at least once a day an article or something from the comment section from this site. He's absolutely obsessed with this site. The only thing the site does that is actually good is they keeps printing articles about different. I guess in a lot of schools, kids are getting in trouble for pretending to have guns. And by pretending to have guns, like they make a gun with their finger and go bang bang, and the kid gets thrown out of school for like a week, and so they're reporting because they think it's insane, which it is insane. So that's the only thing good about this site. Everything else is batshit crazy.
So we're gonna play a game. I am going to tell you about an article.
Just to say how, by the way, this site. I was looking at the ads because this site probably makes some money. It's this guy Alex Jones, his website. He's known as a bit of a conspiracy theorist, and one of the main ads on the site today was where you could buy 3 months of food for, I guess, the apocalypse, which must be happening tomorrow. Anytime the apocalypse is going to happen, you'll have your 3 months supply of food.
You could also get 3 big containers of Patriot salt, which is just salt, and it's $80.
A 4-week supply of food. You get 3 months supply of food, 450 servings for $420. You get a Patriot bonus discount with that purchase. It's the best value.
Of course it is.
Okay, go on. So let's go explain the game.
So I'm going to describe an article that was on the site, and you are going to try and come up with the craziest comment you can think of. And then I am going to read a real, actual comment, and we're going to see what's crazier.
So Jay goes basically on this site and argues with people because they say things that are insane.
They say things so crazy, sometimes I just can't ignore it, and I just have to say something. And then I get into these big battles with these crazies, and really, it just gets me angry. And at the end of the day, they're still crazy, and I got to stop.
We're trying to figure out if we actually live in the same country as the people who comment on these websites. I can't believe that us and the people that have these views are all part of the same voting bloc.
It's amazing. It really is. I mean, all right, well, you'll see how this goes.
You'll see, yeah.
Okay. So the first one is called Whatever Became of Morality.
Okay.
So this is basically talking about how America has become less moral, and it starts off just saying there's more crime, and you're like, okay, but then it's less moral because not everyone's Christian. That was basically the point of the article.
Right, obviously, because, I mean, Christianity, nothing against it, but that guy who didn't know it was illegal to fuck boys in the 80s was also Christian. Apparently he was a man of the faith. Nothing against religion. Nothing against. Well, I feel like religion in general. You can knock them all. But so, what kind of crazy comment would be up on there? I guess someone would say, ever since the godless hippies took over our country. I don't know. What's the comment?
Do not confuse the red dragon with the woman Israel, as the world has already done. Just as Neo in the Matrix could not correctly identify Agent Smith when he infiltrated the real world because he looked human, these white girls are like Agent Smith. They are not human, they are not white, they are corrupted and most likely young dragons.
What the fuck did that mean?
I don't even know what that one meant.
At first I thought it was like anti-Jewish, but then there's something about like white girls just suck.
But they're dragons. I'm sure dragons is supposed to mean something, but I have no idea what that means.
You don't know the code?
Okay, so The next one is kind of.
You know what they? By the way, I have the website up, and there's some article on here that I don't know how true it is because I didn't even click on the article. But how NBC apparently paid Chelsea Clinton $600,000 a year for occasional work.
Yeah, I saw that one.
So like, there's some sketchy. I mean, they report on some things that like, if that's true, that's kind of sketchy.
Right, but then they totally lose their credibility with their other stuff, and then every single thing they put up there loses credibility with the people who comment.
Well, yeah, they have a lot of articles that like will talk about, hey, like all this gun violence going on in America. Good. No, maybe people should be. Well, I guess they're just very pro-gun. What am I thinking? Like all the school shootings. They're like, oh, all the school shootings. They're like, there's a lot of mental illness that maybe that's being untreated. You're like, yeah, that makes sense. And then they go off the rails and like blame the mental illness on black people. And you're like, what? It's like they have you a little bit, and then they say something completely insane, and the article like goes off the cliff.
Yeah, one guy was like, he started off slowly with his comments to me. By the end, he basically said that the Nazis were correct. And I was like, oh, okay. I was just clarifying that that's where you're going. That's your point of view. Okay, next. Okay, so this one, a lot of people got really angry about. It's kind of a sarcastic title for the article. Victory for involuntary servitude in Colorado. So this is because the cake makers didn't want to make cakes for gay people.
Obviously. Well, basically the story was that they were saying that you can treat gay people different. Basically, gay people wanted a cake made, and the cake maker said, it's against my religion to sell powdered sugar to gay people because I only want to kill straight people. I don't know. What's your stance? You make fucking cakes.
Right. Everyone's like, oh, freedom of religion. You're supposed to be allowed to express freedom of religion if it doesn't affect other people.
I mean, also, what's the difference? You're a cake maker. Why do you care like what's going to be used for? Was there supposed to be like a penis being inserted into like an anus? Was that part of the cake? I understand like maybe you're objecting to that. If it's just like happy wedding, Tom and Bob, what the hell do you care? Just sell another cake, asshole.
This wasn't one of the ones I wrote down, but one guy was like, well, that's because he wanted him to make a gay cake. Maybe if they asked him to make a straight cake, he would have. I'm like, how do you make a cake gay?
Well, anyway. I stick the cake in my butt and then it becomes a gay cake.
Basically, anyway, people were very angry that this guy was forced to actually act like a human being and sell them a cake.
Why was he even forced? I don't understand why he's even forced to sell a cake to these people. Because he couldn't. Because he's saying a business owner can't discriminate based on like.
Yeah, you can't say like you could say I don't want to make a cake for you, period. But you can't say.
So they were saying in Colorado you weren't allowed to say you can't make a cake for you because you are gay.
Yeah, I'm sure he used faggot or homo or something, but yeah. That's the whole point. Like, if you don't specifically say, but you can't like discriminate against a group of people.
Well, you can. There are under the law, only certain groups of people are protected, like race, gender. Certain things are protected. Not everywhere. Not everywhere can you. A lot of places you can just say, I'm not going to serve you because you're gay as a private business owner, and they're not protected under the law, which is fucked up. I guess Colorado maybe was trying to change the law there.
Whatever. What's your crazy comment? So
what's my comment on this site? This is part of the Soviet, the Russian conspiracy to make us all gay, weaker, so Russia can take over our nation.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
I have two. One of them is stupid and one of them is crazy. Which one do you want to hear first?
I'm going to have trouble differentiating, but let's go with stupid first.
Okay. Well, I know one state I will never visit again. I think we need to boycott Colorado. Don't order anything, form, tour, or fly through Colorado. If a business cannot choose who they will do business with and homosexuals are a protected species, we need to take action. So we need to take action against these homosexuals. I just thought it was funny that said we need to boycott Colorado.
I don't understand the people that are, all these people. I I don't understand people that get so riled up with hating other people.
They're all talking about the gay agenda. And I'm like, what's the agenda? To be treated equally? Isn't it an agenda to, like, deny rights to people? Isn't that an agenda?
I mean, life sucks enough in many ways. Why do you have to put all your energy towards hating? Like, why do you even give a shit what other people are doing?
I know. Well, why even care? All right, here's the crazy one.
Yeah.
This one says, I don't know what an MRA is, but I am an MRA and I help men who are victims of false allegations, of which there is no shortage, believe, and I bring up how many gay friends of mine, and it's not just the social conditioning. Many gay men I know say they cannot date women. They have had several bad experiences that don't just cause drama, it can land them in jail and just screw up your whole life, not just inconvenience you. And some people get outraged by that, but I have to agree it's a factor. Almost done with this comment. For the same reason, many American men are avoiding dating or marriage altogether, and many turn gay. So to deal with it, until we can make it advantageous for men to be hetero again in America and not treat them like chumps, men are going to turn gay. So in summary, there's crazy women who give false allegations of them getting raped, so guys are turning gay for fear of getting sued. That's his... There's no real gay people. They're all just scared of crazy exes.
You know the reading comprehension part of the SATs? Wouldn't it be great if this was like the paragraph? Kids like reading the paragraph. And he's like, wait, what the fuck?
Okay, next. That's pretty insane, right?
Yeah, obviously. I like this. I would love this. The article, if the argument was just like, you know, if girls don't go out with us, we're all going to turn gay. That was just his basic argument.
I just wrote to him, people don't turn gay because of crazy exes. And he wrote back another long paragraph, like, you don't even know. These people are getting threatened with rape cases and they're turning gay. I know because I've talked to these people. I'm like, all right.
I have a buddy who was like, he said, like, I think being gay is a choice. And I was like, really? You think that's what they're choosing? This is like, they're like, oh, I mean, I could be with girls, or can have like people like, I could be.
Yeah, I want to be
like,
persecuted by rednecks for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I was like, dude, what was your thought process for choosing to be straight? I'm sure you explored. I mean, obviously, it was just a choice. You naturally were like, should I be gay or should I be straight? And you kind of like thought about it over a weekend.
And then they get angry, right? Because you use logic.
Yeah, you're like, it makes no fucking sense. I don't care if you say it's like a genetic versus like what's the thing? It's like, is it genetic or is it nature versus nurture? Who the fuck cares? It's not a choice.
Right. Okay, the next one is Wikipedia.
If you're making a choice, you're probably just gay and either denying you're gay or you're just gay, okay?
Yeah, exactly. The people are like, oh, I know plenty of gay people who had girlfriends. I'm like, maybe they were confused at first. Or maybe they were in denial, or maybe they were trying to avoid getting persecuted by rednecks like you.
Yeah, every one of them I've known, they were just guys that were in the closet prior.
Yeah.
What's your next story?
Well, one of my best buddies, he's gay. He dated a few girls because he knew that it wouldn't go over so well in high school if he was trying to date other guys. Anyway, this one is Wikipedia to become government mouthpiece.
Wikipedia to become government mouthpiece?
Yeah. Basically, the government is going to... I don't know. I didn't even read this article.
So the idea the government was going to try to control Wikipedia, they control the message of things.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if they bought a stake in it or they're just going to be able to edit it or one of those two.
Okay, here's the comment. More like Wicked Jew. Okay, what's your comment?
Oh my God, you actually got this one right.
Nailed it.
Wiki is
it's always control the information. It's always the Jews.
Yep.
By the way, I'm just one point out I'm Jewish. So people, go on.
Wiki is a total waste of effort, but for the communist Marxist, it is an additional tool to oppress and intimidate the masses. Wiki has always been mouthpiece of Judaism. Wikipedia is owned and totally controlled by Jews, synagogue of Satan, communist, Jew world order criminals, more propaganda, lies, impeach Obama for lies, deception, and more lies. That's a lot of anger in one post.
You know, I have to say one thing about Judaism. It's going to sound a little bad. And Jay's like, oh, great. I I'm Jewish. I also have nothing against anyone. But in the Jewish religion, like one of the things you're first taught is that the Jews are the chosen people.
Yeah, we're all Gentiles.
And I just say, like, isn't that kind of an asinine way to start your, like, to tell everyone we're the chosen people? I mean, we're the chosen. You're almost saying like, hey, you should kind of like hate us.
Yeah, it is really obnoxious.
Yeah, it's a kind of obnoxious. You should say, hey, God said we're cool. We're the cool people that God said. There are other cool people, but we're cool also.
I mean, I understand that you think that because everyone thinks that they're right. But to actually come up with names for it and call everyone else, you're Gentiles or whatever it is.
We're Jewish and you're a Gentile. And especially a non-Jewish girl is called a shiksa, which just sounds kind of a weird statement. She's a shiksa.
Yeah.
You're calling her a whore or something? No, I'm just saying she's non-Jewish. She's a shiksa.
It's like, if Christians were calling everyone who isn't Christian like hellions. It's because they're all going to hell because they're wrong.
But don't they technically call, like, if you don't believe in Christ as the Savior, aren't you like a blasphemer? Yeah, or something like that. I mean, I guess all religions just say either you're with us or you're against us, basically. That's the religion. Yeah,
because they're all cults.
Except for Hindu is like, whatever, just go with it. Whatever you want to do. It's cool. I don't know.
Yeah, my girlfriend's Buddhist, and it's basically, to sum up Buddhism, it's don't be a dick.
Yeah, it's a pretty good one, actually.
Yeah, it's best one I've seen so far. I don't remember any like Buddhist crusades.
The Buddhist crusade would be like, we were going to go to a crusade, and it turned into a 5K. We contributed some money to cancer. Anyhow.
And then we ate some kale.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Okay. Do you like this game? Do you want to keep going?
I kind of like this game. I don't know if anyone else likes this game, or I don't know if anyone else listens to the show. So.
Okay. Well, if we're both having fun, we'll keep it going. So this one is mainstream media blames libertarians for Las Vegas shooting. So basically, MSN.
Obviously, I got this.
Okay.
On the Las Vegas shooting, Obama hired this guy to shoot people in Vegas because he knew, and have him like say bad things about libertarian views because he knew that would mean people would come down on libertarians. But this is really Obama's fault.
Okay. And the real crazy comment is funny to see all the gnashing of teeth and lanky discourse over a hoax. You people are asleep at the wheel. None of these events are real. The NWO has taken over complete control of your reality by staging DHS drills / hoaxes as if they are real.
NWO, New World Order. I knew that. Go on.
New World Order. In fact, almost every single recent mall shooting, school stabbing, etc. are hoaxes. Why?
I wasn't at any of the shootings. How do I know they were real?
Yeah, exactly. And I got into an argument with this person too, and apparently I didn't know it, but all the shootings in the U.S. are hoaxes, and all the lack of shootings in Australia are cover-ups.
So apparently something came out how Obama had mentioned Australia had a big school shooting a couple decades ago, and Australia said, fuck it, we're taking away the guns.
And they haven't had one in 20 years. But this guy informed me that they have them all the time. They're just all covered up.
Versus our nation, we had, since Sandy Hook, we've had 74 shootings in the last year and a half.
But they're all hoaxes, though.
But they're all hoaxes. They're all made up. Yeah. That's the best. That's the greatest excuse for anything, is just saying it's a hoax.
Yeah.
Didn't happen. It didn't happen. I don't know. There was a monster. There was an earthquake in L.A. L.A. doesn't exist, so no one can be injured. Okay. There was that whole Katrina thing in New Orleans. New Orleans, figment of my imagination. Okay, cool, great.
Weather's a hoax.
Weather's a hoax. Climate change can't be real. It's cold out.
I have two more if you want to keep going.
I wish you would use that. It's kind of a good thing for just anything. Call it a hoax. Oh, I'm really worried about the deficit. Deficit? Come on. You think anyone really loaned the U.S. $17 trillion? It's made up. Oh, okay, cool. You're right.
Basically, everything is the Matrix.
Everything's the Matrix.
In fact, the first crazy comment we read actually literally said it was the Matrix.
I mean, gay marriage. Do gay people even exist? It's made up. I know some gay people. Do you even exist?
The funny thing is, when I post on this site, I get comments like crazy of people who think I'm a government agent that is planted to put. They call me crazy to put crazy.
You
comments,
are crazy for posting on the site. Go on.
To put crazy comments in there to make them all look crazy. So it's a government conspiracy that there. I guess there's an entire department in the government to post comments on Infowars.
This site is absolutely crazy. Maybe we should move on to our next bit.
Okay, I could save the other ones for next time.
You have one more? Do one more. Come on, I love these.
I have two more, but okay. Let's see. Iraq would not have an Al-Qaeda problem if the state allowed citizens to be armed. So there's another pro-gun one. Basically, if everyone in Iraq had guns, then they would just shoot Al-Qaeda away.
Actually, there's a recent story. The second largest city in Iraq, Mosul, I think it was. Mm-hmm. The U.S. gave them a ton of goddamn weapons so they could defend themselves. The Al-Qaeda, whatever organization, the ISIS has been called, the Islamic something or other, invaded, took over the town, took over the city, and took all the weapons. So all the weapons the U.S. had shipped over there are now part of the Al-Qaeda's weapons. This happened really recently.
Wait, no, I thought they were all going to be patriots and just shoot Al-Qaeda in the face.
So I guess if you have too many guns, the bad guys will just take the guns from you.
Right, because, yeah.
Iraq is a complete disaster right now. Apparently, do you know the U.S. is thinking about going back in there?
Yeah.
That's fucked. The whole thing is so ridiculous. We're like, oh, Saddam Hussein, he's awful. We got rid of him, and 15 years later, 12 years later, it's a complete nightmare still.
It's actually worse than it was.
Happy birthday, Iraq, or whatever.
But we stole some oil, so it's all good.
The good thing, you know what the best part of this, though, is? Iraq doesn't exist. It's a hoax.
There is no Middle East. It's just
Should we go back in? Why? Why would we go back in when we never went in the first place? It didn't happen.
I should also mention on this site, there's an NWO comment on every single article. I didn't want it to get monotonous, so I changed up the comments. But there's an NWO conspiracy for every single one of these.
The Hollywood Jews have made all this footage on a soundstage in Hollywood where it looks like a war. It's not a war. It doesn't really exist. Middle East, more like Middle Earth, not existent, made up by Tolkien, whatever.
So you want to hear the crazy comment?
Yeah.
What a joke. They are armed. Average people don't just have pistols. They have heavy machine guns, bombs, RPGs, etc. It's a religious war between Sunnis and Shiites that has been going on for over 1,000 years and was only kept in check by brute force like Saddam Hussein and the Ottoman Empire and the occupation. All right, so this is the first part.
Part that's kind of true.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait till the second part.
Yeah.
Al-Qaeda is a fiction created by the West to conveniently label Muslims as bad guys without having to explain too much, because that would just show how evil the West has been to those people. And then it says it's articles like these that call Infowars into doubt because they didn't expose the fiction of Al-Qaeda. Apparently, Al-Qaeda is a fake organization.
I'm going to come up with my own conspiracies. Maybe I can post articles to the site. Like, you know that who's the guy Bergdahl, the U.S. soldier that we traded 5 the Taliban for? You hear about this?
Yeah.
So we traded 5 Taliban cap prisoners for a prisoner of war from the Taliban, from a U.S. prisoner of war. So the reason that happened, it's all staged, and it is the prequel to the new season of Homeland. Showtime has just put a lot of money in this, that's all.
Oh, yeah, I love these. I mean, these people.
You do. You send them to me every day.
I know. And I've held so many. I have more.
Okay, and so here's my other conspiracy theory.
Mm-hmm.
Iraq, you know all the war, why there's unrest going on now there, and there's all this fighting.
Mm-hmm.
It's the oil companies financing the unrest because they want to drive the price of oil, and they're saying we're gonna create a civil war so oil will go up. Yeah, money.
Wait,
Well,
that might be real.
Well, I don't know. It would be the first time we went to Iraq. It had probably something to do with oil, but
Why? Just because that was the first thing we did? We just ran over there,
secure
like-
the oil.
Yeah, secure the oil.
The guy that's telling us to go in the first place was part of Halliburton.
Yeah.
And he had ties to all the oil, whatever. And you're an oil man and a guy, energy guy, whose company like got all the contracts. Okay, fuck that. Let's talk about something else.
Okay, that was fun. I like that one.
That was fun. I like that one. If we get any feedback whatsoever, we'll know whether we're going to do this again.
Yeah. If not, I'll just email you the last one next time.
Okay, so you want to do the last one, Jay?
I don't care. I mean,
Okay. Just email it to me.
okay. I'll
Okay,
save it. If people like it, we'll do the last one on the next show.
Can we play our Would You Rather game? Did you make 5 for Would You Rathers, or just gonna be me?
I made like 2.
Okay, I made a bunch. I think I made 6 of them. I'll cover for ones that you didn't do.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather have an extra hour of sleep every night for the rest of your life, or $10,000?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because this is a wrong week to ask me that because I've been getting home from class at 11 o'clock at night.
Every night you have just a free extra hour. Whenever you're going to wake up, you have an extra hour of uninterrupted sleep, REM sleep.
Ooh.
So it's the good stuff. It's the real good sleep.
I
You're going to
know.
be extra refreshed in the morning.
You don't even need the extra, just refreshed in the morning.
$10,000.
I'm still going to go with the $10,000.
Ooh. I know. That hour of sleep for the rest of my goddamn life would be worth $10,000, I think.
I'm just so broke right now. If you asked me like next year, I would probably take the sleep. Right now, I want the $10,000.
I have 2 kids. I fucking need that sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
What's yours?
Would you rather have all the skin removed from your feet or your hands?
What a dumbass. I'm not even answering you. That's just a stupid, like, would you rather be hit with a hammer or hit with a baseball bat? Okay, mine. Would you rather have the option to be as tall as you want to be, or would you rather be able to eat as much as you want but maintain the same weight?
Oh, that's an awesome. See, you're so much better at this game than I am.
It is my game. I probably couldn't pull out the conspiracy theories things on that website either. So
If this was,
you could be 6'5" if you want, whatever, or
know.
you could eat as many cheeseburgers you want and have no health consequences.
you know, if I was like 18, I would take the height. Right now, I'm going with unlimited burgers.
I agree with you totally. If I was young, the height thing would be so awesome. But at this age, if I could just eat like chicken parm heroes all the time, it'd be fucking amazing.
Oh, seriously, I would just hit like 5 restaurants a day. It would be awesome.
I mean, eating is awesome, and if you didn't have to care about what you're eating.
Which is also why I would take the $10,000 because I need all that
I'd be
money
like,
to pay
do you
for
realize how
marketing.
cheap this shit is at McDonald's, and I can eat whatever I want. Do you have another one for me?
They're all like kind of painful.
Okay, what's
things.
your next one?
Would you? One of them was: would you rather lose your sight or your hearing?
Whatever. Would you rather be able to levitate a foot off the ground, or be 3 times as attractive as you are right now? So you can lift off the ground like it's like magic, but like it's real. Like anytime you want, a foot off the ground, up to a foot off the ground, which is like cool, and you can just show people like, look at this cool trick I can do. I can levitate off the ground, or in some way like to the opposite sex, you're 3 times as attractive as you are, but you got a girlfriend, so it's not like you're going to change much there. But I don't know.
I mean, David Blaine made $1 million off of his fake levitating trick. Imagine a real one.
I know.
And it would also help in the rain going to work.
It would just be a really cool thing to be able to do.
It would be really cool.
You'd become world famous for that.
I was initially going to say that 3 times as good looking. I think I might go with levitation, though.
The negative side is the government might like capture you and try to do experiments on you.
They might, but then they'd have to...
Get you when you're a foot off the ground?
Yeah. Try catching
I'm
me
gonna
now.
escape. Up, and.
Oh, there's
Not
still
really
bars. There's still bars. I'm gonna go with levitating. That'll be fun.
Do you have another one for me, or another stupid?
No, you
ass,
don't. You don't like any of mine. So.
Would you rather have a cat or a dog? Thank you, Jay. That was an awesome. Okay. Would you rather be fluent in 3 additional languages, or be 3 times as strong as you currently are?
Fluent in 3 languages.
I don't know. Being 3 times as strong as you are would be kind of cool.
It would be cool, but I really want to be fluent in 3 languages.
But like, what would be more useful?
3 languages.
3 times as strong as you are is like strength of like an ape.
Yeah. What am I gonna do with that? Punch
like super
rednecks on
strength.
Infowars in the face?
Yeah, it's true.
I mean,
what language? What language would you be fluent in?
Thai, so I could actually talk to my girlfriend's parents.
I figured you'd say that one.
Japan, because
You mean Japanese?
yeah, I've been drinking Captain. Japanese, because
Japan. I'd be fluent in Mexico.
I want to be fluent in Japan. So yeah, I would pick Japanese because everything in Japan is awesome, but I can't read any of it.
I'll tell you in a second. Oh yeah, what's your third one?
See, the third one's tough because now I'm out of options. I mean, like I only have one more choice, and there's so many other languages. I would say maybe German. Because German's another country I really want to visit.
I just think Germans scare the shit out of me when they talk, so it'd be helpful to know what they're saying.
Yeah. Yeah, they always sound angry when they're talking.
Did you ever see the Simpsons bit? I think it was they were speaking German. They had these 2 guys playing chess, speaking German, and you hear them be like, I mean, they slam them, but the translation translation is like, "That was a great game. I'll play you tomorrow."
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
It was like when the Germans come to the bar and Mo offers him a beer, and he's like, sorry, but your beer tastes like swill to us. Because they have really good beer in Germany. And American beer sucks.
My on a side note, just to tell my kid story of the week. My son now likes to his end of his bedtime routine is he wants to before going to bed tell me a story. He'll be 3 in about a week and a half or so.
So these are awesome stories.
Oh my god, these stories you just want them that like the most of it you kind of have to like help the story along a little bit.
I'm assuming
You
they're
can,
all like 10 minutes long too.
Oh no, he doesn't get. Well, they would be. He'll just keep going on until you tell him the end. I might have more to say. It's over. Okay. It's like the cow went to the door, and then what happened? He wasn't there. Who wasn't there? The cow was at the door. Who was at the door? The cow. And some reason or another, all the stories lately are. The cow, it's 2 farm animals who somehow go for Mexican. They go to Mexican. You mean Mexico? They go to Mexican. You mean a restaurant? Mexican. Fine. What did they eat at the restaurant? Pasta. Okay. And then he just throws in a bunch of fake words. And it's like, oh, who was there a waiter? Well, who's the waiter? Ishi, Mishi, Mashi, Mishi. Okay, story's done. I'm telling a story. You're not even using real words anymore. You know the real words, okay?
Awesome.
So
what 3 languages do you pick?
What language should I pick? I'd pick Mandarin because that one seems kind of important. Thai, so I can talk to your girlfriend's parents. And Spanish seems like a language I should learn. I don't know.
I finally talked to my girlfriend's parents, and they're like, "Oh, that was great." And I'm like, "All right, hold on. Mark wants to talk to you too."
Okay, here's another one. Would you rather be able to? Oh wait. Let's do Jay's first. Okay, Jay. Would you rather have to use a pencil or a pen? Would you rather be able to read people's minds for a week or be able to speak to animals for a week?
You're really good at this game.
I nail it. Come on. I think these are good ones.
They are. I saw that Mel Gibson movie. It seemed like it would not be fun. Did you see that movie?
Which I was trying to figure out which Mel Gibson. I was like, the one where he like read what girls want, right? What women want, or something like that.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah,
what happened? I didn't see it.
It seemed terrible.
Yeah, I always think reading people's minds, and you'd be like, "Oh, everyone hates me."
Yeah, it was a lot of that where like, oh my god, I can't believe the jerk's coming up to me. Please don't hit on me, and he's just like, oh fuck.
That's how I kind of picture like reading someone's mind. I figured like it'd be like the worst superhero power you can ever get. It'd be like that superhero power you get before you kill yourself.
Yeah, it was also like, oh, now I'm in Times Square and I have a billion voices all at once, and it's driving me completely insane.
Right. I guess like for this power, you could differentiate. It won't like you don't have the annoyance factor of like hearing every voice. You could just stare at someone and then pick their brain.
I'm still gonna go with animals because I think that would be more interesting. I already know
what if you were talking to animals and all it is like your cat's like tired. Tired. I like food. 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 Shut the hell up. I like food. I like food. I like I want water. I want water. Oh, I like living. I like standing here. I like sitting. I'm gonna sit over there. I'm gonna sit over there. I'm gonna sit. Shut the hell up.
At least I'll know. At least I could stop saying, wow, my cat's really smart.
Okay, so this is I guess yours now. Would you rather live in a condo or a co-op?
I hate you.
Would you rather be able to breathe fire like a dragon or make 10 times your current income?
Oof.
I'm not saying you can't. You can use the fire breathing to earn more money, but
I know. That's what I was thinking. I could just be like a freak show in a carnival.
again, like the levitating thing, I feel like you could use that to make a lot of money, but the government might experiment on you.
Yeah, they definitely might experiment on you.
And they might be like, hey, have you ever thought about coming to Iraq with us to fight Al Qaeda? But breathing fire would be pretty freaking cool.
It would be really cool.
But then you'd accidentally burn a baby and people would be like, oh, we want death for fireman. I sneezed. It's an accident.
I'm leaning towards... I think I'm going to go with the money on this one because I feel like I would screw up the fire breathing and do something terrible.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you.
That's not like some superpowers you can kind of get, like the levitation. It's like, what are you going to do? Are you going to bump your head or something? Like the fire breathing, I could like murder people. Might be a problem.
Okay, do you have any more, Jay? Would you rather be able to drink unlimited Diet Coke or unlimited Diet Pepsi? So moving on, what else do you want to talk about?
Did we have another story?
We have tons of stories. There's that story about Slender Man.
Oh God, yeah.
For those of you who don't know this story, preteen girls like 12 years old, 12-year-old girls stabbed their friend because they stabbed their friend 19 times with a knife because they wanted to getting good with Slender Man, which is a made-up monster.
Right, made up like 5 years ago, even though one of the news stations said it is like an ancient myth.
Let me read the story.
Around for hundreds
people probably...
of years.
Yeah, so two 12-year-old girls are accused of stabbing a classmate at least 19 times in order to please a mythical creature they read about online. The victim, whose name has not been released, is currently in stable condition. One of the stab wounds just narrowly missed an artery. Prosecutors said it's probably all a hoax anyhow. Prosecutors said the two girls from the southeastern, would you rather be stabbed 19 times or 18 times? One of the stab wounds just narrowly missed an artery. Prosecutors said the two girls, both from southeastern Wisconsin, never go to southeastern Wisconsin apparently, plotted the attack for months. According to Associated Press, the girls lured the victim to a sleepover on Friday. During a hide-and-seek game on Friday, they attacked her with a knife. One girl reportedly yelled at the other, "Go ballistic, go crazy." One of the girls told a detective they were trying to become proxies of Slender Man, a mythological demon-like character they learned about on creeppastawikia.com, a website about horror stories and legends. They planned to run away to the demon's forest mansion after the slaying, the complaint said.
So these girls are just retarded.
The
'Cause
Slender
when I-
Man was created like 3 or 4 years ago as like on this website where you create like horror stories, and apparently it was like a popular one.
I mean, when I was that age, I did not believe that mythical creature. Like, I watched a lot of horror movies at that age. I didn't be like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna go hang out with Hellraiser.
Or Freddy Krueger, I'm gonna get good with him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go hang out with Jason and slay campers at the ranch.
Well, no one's blaming the guy that created Slender Man, right?
I
No
hope
one even
not.
thinks this has to do anything to do with him, right?
I hope not. I mean, these girls are clearly retarded.
I mean, they're not retarded. They're mentally insane. They're like psychotic.
Yeah.
They're clearly like, hey, she's lit live. We should lock them up for the rest. You know where they are? Have you seen the Halloween movies? Like the ones, like where like Mike Myers is a kid and he's completely batshit crazy and kills his family and they lock him up.
Mm-hmm.
They're Mike Myers as a kid.
Yeah.
You let them go, they're just gonna keep killing.
Yeah, they're out of their minds. I don't want to hear that they're young and immature because I've been that age and I knew the difference between the fictitious stories and reality. That's just insane.
So here's the question from the whole story. Does the guy who made Slender Man get rich off this?
If they want to, I don't know if he has it copyrighted.
Well, I'm sure it is. I'm sure that some guy wrote this and like has the rights to it. Or let's just presume for the question that he must have some rights to it. He wrote it on a site. He must have some like.
Not necessarily. If he just posted it on a site, that's just out there. Somebody can make a Slender Man movie, and if he didn't post any, file for any copyright, somebody could just make a Slender Man movie, and he's screwed.
Jay, giving legal advice. Do you even know how that copyrights work?
I know you have to have one.
I think if you come up with something, you don't actually have to file anything. You still have rights to it.
If you could prove that you did it.
Let's just say, for the argument's sake, he can prove it. I don't want to.
Because I know for my public access show, we came up with some original characters and stuff, and we mailed sketches and pictures of it and stuff to ourselves and dated it and never opened it. So like if those characters ever showed up, we like. What? That's covering your own ass.
Oh my god!
How else are you going to cover your own ass in 1990?
40-year-old virgin. We basically wrote that ahead of time. The Captain America movie. We basically wrote that.
I don't even know.
Come on, did you really think like that? Like these aren't the ideas you have, or something? Someone was going to steal them?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, we were 15.
Well, that's a good explanation. Like I was 15 years old. I thought my ideas were brilliant.
So
Not
instead
like-
of murdering
but,
my friends and
yeah,
blaming it on characters, I was actually trying to like make puppets and stuff.
Yeah, like you're like 15, you have a grandiose visions of your talent versus you're 15 years old and you think, hey, I should murder my friend to get in with this mythological creature.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Slightly more
yeah,
sane.
you're normal and she was not. But I would say let's just assume he has some kind of rights to the copyright or whatever it is to this article, to this thing. Because do you think the guy gets rich off it? Do you think like someone's going to be like, hey, it's bad publicity, but now everyone knows Slender Man. Let's make a movie.
I've seen worse horror movies. I could see a Slender Man movie.
My understanding is he's supposed to like the Z-League of horror characters. You know what Z-League is?
No.
That like it was like this like Woody Allen movie he made where like he plays this guy who apparently like is in every like famous moment in the last 100 years. Like you like everything they show, the guy's like there also.
So it's Forrest Gump.
Yeah. It's without him actually probably Forrest Gump got some of his idea from this.
Mm-hmm.
But it was because the movie was made like 15, 20, like before, like 20 years before Forrest Gump probably, or 15 years before Forrest Gump. But anyhow, just this character is supposed to be like this evil guy who keeps showing up in pictures, basically, and like he's kind of an undistinguishable face. That's Slender Man, the idea.
Oh yeah, it's the same thing.
Yeah, the same kind of idea, except for I guess a horror version kind. But I could totally see this guy them making like maybe like wait till this like kind of cools down a little bit, and a year from now, like someone buys the movie rights.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I
Because everyone
said,
now knows who Slender Man is.
I've seen The Grudge. It can't be worse than that.
Yeah, you know, people are gonna be like, I had an idea for a guy that kills people with tacos, and he'll be a horror character. Now I just need to get some 12-year-olds to kill someone, and I can make money.
Okay, we have 2 questions.
Oh, we should do these questions. This show's been really long.
Yeah, we
Oh,
gotta
shoot,
end.
I gotta plug in. Hang on. I can pull a plug in. No problem. I gotta do this. Hang on.
Okay.
I gotta plug my computer in.
All right. If you want to email us, you could email us
deep.
at thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. And we also have a website, brinkofsanityshow.com. So you can go there, and we actually have some posts. and
You would
stuff.
be the first person to have ever gone to Brink of Sanity. You'd be like Columbus discovering America when you go to our website.
Okay, so questions?
Would you rather go to the Brink website or the Facebook page? There was an article I really wanted to read. I completely forgot about.
Save it.
I guess I'll save it. It's going to be too long. I'll do it for the next show. Questions.
God forbid we put out more than an hour a month.
Sean writes, what would it take for you guys to get back into video games, preferably this current generation of consoles?
I'm on the fence for getting a new generation system right now.
What's the current systems? What's the main system?
Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and the Wii U.
Have you played any of these? Like, how much cooler does it really look?
It looks really good, but I don't think there's... It's kind of like the difference between... At this point, it's the difference between DVD and Blu-ray. So it's
Okay.
better, but it's not like, oh my God.
It was like, because they kept me like, at first it was like 8-bit, then 16-bit. Then it was like, oh, it's cooler. Oh, it looks kind of cooler. And then it's like, oh, you're going to be in the video game. It just... How much better do I really need to look?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably double again, but at some point, when the number's so high, it's like, yeah,
And how much cooler are the games now?
they're worse.
Sure. They're what?
They're worse.
I mean, they're all like the adventure games. You have to like do a mission and blah blah blah.
Well, remember, like back in the day, it was bragging rights if you beat a game. It's like impossible to not beat a game now.
Well, yeah, because you said you could save and always go back to it.
Yeah.
I mean, basically, I just what would it take for me to get back into video games? It would get someone to hire me and pay me a very good salary to play the video games 8 hours a day, because that's the only time I'd have free since I have kids. It just, if I went back to playing video games right now, my wife might kill me. That would be like, that'd be like first grounds in our divorce.
Hey, honey, I got a new hobby.
Hey, hobby. I got a new hobby and it involves me not talking to anyone in our family. You know, on the same token, I've got something that's going to happen to me is at some point my son's going to get into video games. He's like going to turn 3, too young now, but when he's like 6 or 7 years old, he's going to like hear about video games from his friends. Would you get your kid like a video game system?
Yeah, why not?
I don't want my son to like sit there and just play video games all day.
Well, that's why you say you get an hour.
Yeah, but like they're like, oh, when you belong, yeah.
Well,
You're
then
like,
you have
"Fuck,
no
just do another
video games
hour."
ever, you little shit.
That's it. So I don't want to call my kid a little shit, so I don't think I'm going to get a video game system for a while. I think I'm going to be one of these dick dads who holds off on getting it because I'd like, go out and fucking play a sport. Be social.
Then you're going to have that kid who finally gets one and becomes those fat World of Warcraft kids.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see what happens. I'll experiment with my kid. But I'm not in favor of him sitting there and like playing it for like 12 hours a day either.
You got to set the rules. You got to say, you get an hour to play the game. These games, like I said, these games aren't like Nintendo where there was no save or anything. You had to play the game for 6 goddamn straight hours to beat it.
But I bet they're even more like, they're much more addicting than ever.
I don't know. For me, I can go in now and I could play for 45 minutes and then save it. And
What
then
do you
walk away.
play? What game would you play that you actually like now?
Like, well, I haven't played in a couple months just because of the stupid school. But last game I played was Mass Effect 3. So it's like a big space game, go to different planets and stuff. And
What do you do on the different planets?
I mean, you gotta round up some allies, and then you go fight this like evil race of aliens that's trying to kill everybody.
Why would you even like? Why would you even want to do this?
It's a lot of fun.
I've gone beyond. I used to really like video games. Now I'm just like, oh, I have to go get allies. Why can't I just fight myself? God damn it! Fuck. Why do I even want to fight these guys? Like, how do I know I need to fight these guys?
All right, the game I played before that was the second Batman game, Arkham Asylum, City.
Whatever. Was that a good game?
That was really good.
Okay.
It literally has like every single Batman villain ever.
I can understand that a little more because at least I know that story. I guess like if you know the story about the aliens that you're surrounding or rounding up or fighting, whatever, maybe you get more into it. I understand sports games more, but even that, I'm like, really? Is it that much fun?
See, I mean, at this point, I'm fine with playing less than an hour.
Yeah, that's the thing. Kids get addicted so fast. I'd rather at least wait till he's a little bit older before getting it.
Yeah.
You basically all it means is like, I'm going to Tim's house again. What do you guys do there? We don't play video games the entire time we're there.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, Tim's parents sucks.
Yeah, that's definitely happening.
I'm a dog.
So I'm tempted now to get the Wii U, which was probably third on my list out of the three. But my all-time favorite game was Smash Brothers Melee, and they're coming out with a new Smash Brothers, and it looks so good.
What's Wii U?
It is the new Wii.
I have the Wii, and I actually think it was pretty cool. That actually, I have to say, that was a cool system because you're kind of like, you're standing up and you're like doing stuff a little bit. Like, it was kind of a new technology. I thought that was pretty cool for a little while.
I thought it was awesome for like 2 weeks, and I never played it again.
I had it. I played it for a few months. I was really into it. I never even got past, like, I had like 1 or 2 extra games. I basically played that one game you got, the tennis game. I was pretty into that.
That's everyone I know who got the system.
Yeah, like you have the tennis game, you have the baseball game, you have all the different sports. That's really how cool as it got, basically. What makes Wii U cooler?
Well, I heard the Mario Kart's really good, and if the new Smash Brothers is good, then it'll have my new favorite game. Other than that, I mean, that's been every Nintendo system for like the last 3 systems. There's going to be a good Zelda game, there's going to be a good Metroid game, and then a good Mario Kart game.
Yeah. Well, so my 2 favorite posts from the week from Facebook. This one was relevant. Someone wrote down, someone I actually work with was like, does anyone want to buy a Wii U and some games? My son wants an Xbox instead. Lucky me. And I'm like, that's what it's going to be. Like, your kids going to be like, oh, I want this new game. It's on the other system. Can we get that one instead? I want it, Mom. You're like, fuck.
That's the problem, because all these systems are bragging about exclusivity and it's only available on this system. And it's a pain in the ass because no matter what system you get, you're going to miss out on some awesome games.
And then the other Facebook post, which is unrelated, but it was just maybe one of the worst Facebook posts I have ever seen. Making my iced tea in preparation for the Duck Dynasty premiere.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Fuck care. I mean, like, maybe you're excited for Duck Dynasty. I don't even care about that part. It's the making my iced tea.
Yeah.
Is there something about a Duck Dynasty where you make a lot of everyone drinks iced tea? I understand if you were like making like an alcoholic drink.
Yeah, I know. People put the most inane things on. It's really. That's like when people post like, I'm tired. I'm hungry.
And 7 people like that.
That's also the thing. People enable these people.
Oh my God.
I've talked about this girl a million times. She always posts, I'm tired. And she always gets 5 likes. It's like, stop liking it.
I also I hate this. I know we've talked about this before. It's like this guy actually, same thing. Whatever. I'm never going to see this guy in my life. Someone I went to school with a long time ago. Basically wrote about his dad passing away. And he wrote this tribute to his dad on his Facebook wall. I can't think of anything less like just dumber than like I need to like honor him on Facebook.
Right.
Dude, just like speak at his funeral. Just tell people you know, like I don't fucking know you. I don't need to see this. I don't care. Most people, most of your Facebook friends, quote unquote, don't give a shit. And they're hitting like just because it's awkward. And they're like, okay, like, your dad's dead.
Yeah, I don't even know if I would want to like that. That's kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe they should have a sad like. It's just like a weird thing to do. I don't know why, like, it's like, oh, my dad's dead. This is pretty awful. Gotta write the perfect words for Facebook. I don't know. It's a different. I would say it's a different generation, but this person's like my same age. I understand if you were 22 when you did this, because like maybe in like that generation, this is what you do. But if you're our generation, what the fuck's wrong with you?
I don't know. Some people, you realize how crazy people are when you friend them on Facebook.
Yeah. Well, it's that and the same thing of like, I want to say I would marry the luckiest.
I saw 2 of those this week.
I'm so lucky to be married to so and so. Why don't you roll over and tell them instead of telling fucking Facebook?
Yeah, it's like I know they're on the couch next to you right now.
They literally had to move over or give you the computer so you could write this. Just tell them. It should be like I want to tell everyone that I'm the luckiest man to be married to so and so. It's too bad we live 1,000 miles apart because of our jobs.
Yeah.
It would be something like something. Yeah. The next question. We had another question, right? Didn't we?
Yeah.
I'm a dog writes. What do you know about Canada, and what are the differences between you and them? And Tristan responded, "We have ketchup chips," which is an
true.
ongoing joke on our Nick's show.
Yeah. It Well,
And I don't. Do they not have ketchup chips in Canada? Because that's a reason to invade.
no, I think that was a Canadian saying they have ketchup chips.
Oh, they have ketchup chips. We don't.
Right.
We don't have ketchup chips.
We have ketchup chips, but they're very hard to find. I found them. You said you'd never seen them ever.
I've never seen them ever.
They were very overrated.
But I don't look very hard, so they could be sold at Dwayne Reed around the corner, for all I know. They were overrated? I assume they were overrated.
Yeah, they weren't very good.
Yeah, I mean, instead of ketchup chips, I'll just have fries dipped in ketchup.
Yeah, that's much better.
That being said, differences between Canada and the U.S. I guess Canada, they have health care for everyone. The U.S., they have health care if you can afford it or you're really poor.
It's very pretty there, but it's way too cold.
Yeah, I don't know why you actually live there.
I would live there if it was not so goddamn cold.
They're really into hockey. Probably because it's cold.
Every person I've met from there has been super, super friendly.
They're really nice people, and they're always fascinated with the differences between the U.S. and America, U.S. and Canada, but like the dumb differences. Not like the dumb, like they're dumb, but like, hey, I don't get. Why don't you guys just give healthcare to everyone? Why don't you make our universities more cheaper? Like our universities are priced well. Hey, when we buy a home, it's like we get a reasonable loan. You're like, what the fuck?
We're all just kind of nice and cool to each other. Why are you guys all dicks?
Yeah, I mean we have guns too. We don't shoot anyone though. Oh, great. It's Canada sounds in many ways like a place I would totally want to live. If it wasn't so fucking cold.
Yep.
If Canada was in San Diego, I'd move there already.
Exactly.
That being said, I'd like to move to San Diego. Have you been to San Diego?
I have not. I heard the weather is ridiculous, though.
It's fucking paradise on earth. I've been there once. I never wanted to come back. They're like, oh yeah, but like we only have one season. Yeah, you have the best one. Why would you want others?
Yeah, their whole weather is like that 2 nice weeks we have, right?
Yeah, like complaining about the weather in San Diego is like it's like a rock star complaining about like I mean like you get tired of fucking Super Bowls every night.
That's pretty much my extent of knowledge about Canada.
Let's see what else about Canada. One thing I've noticed about Canada and the U.S., they're spelled differently.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the same letters and some different letters. They're both countries, but one has a president, one has a prime minister.
They have territories, or they don't have states.
They export a lot of funny people to the U.S., which I assume all the people left aren't funny.
Although they did give us Justin Bieber.
So that is not a positive.
No, that is not a positive.
He's Canadian?
Yeah.
I don't think I even realized that. But Michael Myers is Canadian.
Yeah, that's two negatives.
You don't like Michael Myers?
He's terrible.
You don't like Austin Powers?
That's a terrible movie.
Really?
It's so bad.
Oh my God! Really? How do you not like Austin Powers?
How do you like Austin Powers?
Because it was funny and everyone else liked it.
It was terrible. It was a really bad movie.
Apparently, everyone else's opinion is different than yours.
Well, they have terrible taste in
You have the
movies.
same opinion as 95-year-old grandmothers.
It's a terrible movie.
It was not funny. I like real humor. Like, insert your movie, Jay.
Yeah, baby. It was funny.
Well,
every
what
time.
movie? What's your funny movie?
I'm not doing this with you right now.
I'm just gonna make fun of what you say.
I know
What
you are. That's why I'm not
obscure,
doing this.
What obscure, shitty TV show that was really funny? It was on for a week in 1985. You want to talk about being really good?
The Young Ones.
I saw that. That wasn't that great.
It was amazing, and how
Oh,
dare
come
you
on.
say that on the same week?
It was kind of like every episode was kind of the same thing.
Yeah, hilarious.
It was okay. It was very avant-garde humor, but
Rick Mile, aka Drop Dead Fred, died this week. So how dare you talk bad about Young Ones on the week of his demise?
I would have no idea which one that is. To be fair, I think I saw them when I was like 13 years old on PBS.
I don't think that was on PBS.
Yeah, it was. So they used to show all the old British shows.
Really?
Yeah, it was like 13 or 14. Like, you ever watch Blackadder or Faulty Towers?
Love both of those shows.
You know they were on PBS also.
I did not.
Ah, I think it was PBS. It was one of those channels that no one it wasn't like a major channel, but it was but a non-cable channel.
Okay. Yeah, no, I used to watch the Young Ones when Comedy Central first started. They showed that at Fridays at 1 a.m.
Yeah. My dad used to be into all this old British. He'd go downstairs and go watch TV and avoid the family. So he'd go down there and he'd find out what he was watching, and he'd be watching some with a British accent. But then I started watching, and there were some pretty funny shows.
All right.
Okay. Anything else? What did we learn today, Jay?
We learned that you're way better at Would You Rather than I am.
Would you rather get your news from a magazine or a newspaper?
We learned that Infowars is a very crazy place.
Would you rather read a conspiracy website or have your friend tell you about the conspiracy website? Yeah, we learned today that no matter what you thought in the 80s, today we're all clear that fucking boys is illegal.
Glad we solved that case. If you learned nothing else today, you learned that fucking little boys is not cool.
We learned that if you're going to read comments on a conspiracy site, at some point they're going to mention the Jews being at fault.
And they will always mention the NWO.
We learned that someone's now going to think our show is anti-Jew because I mentioned something weird about the Jewish religion.
Because people do not understand.
You're Jewish, Mark. We're the chosen people. Rabbi, isn't that a little arrogant to say? Yeah. So. Great.
Yeah, so I think that's all we learned, right? We don't learn much on this show.
There's nothing fucking to learn. Okay, we're out. We'll be back probably in 2 weeks. Give or take, maybe.
Sounds about right.
Actually, I don't think 2 weeks. I think I might be on vacation.
All right, well, 3 weeks.
Well, we'll figure it out. 3 weeks.
It'll
probably
be less than a month, which is quicker than you usually get new shows, so enjoy.
Maybe 2 weeks. Let's see if maybe I can do one on a Friday with you or something like that again.
All right.
Okay.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye. I'm going.